Welcome to Louisiana Heartbeats. I'm Sudie Landry, and today I have a guest that has many hats that she wears, LaQuita Smith-Kayworth. She's an actress, director, author, mental health counselor, model, and the list goes on, and a future television host. So welcome to the show, LaQuita.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I want to give Acadiana a little bit of information. I think it's been 2 years that I've been trying to get this lady in here to talk. But you know, today I now know for no ifs, buts, and ands, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it's God's perfect timing.
Yes, it is.
Prior to the show, we have a whole lot of other stuff that was happening, and she will be back to do more to add to this list of already successful events and activities. I met LaQuita when I attended a local media meetup. I think it was a May Chapman series, and this is how I met her. I began to listen to the different things. You didn't get to make every event that came, every meeting, but when you did, I was lucky and I was there. Due to other commitments, I eventually was not able to continue on, but I went with a motive to get different people to come in on this television show to share what they were doing. Well, it's taken almost 2 years, and now I see it was worth the wait. Okay, now we have some things to talk about, Acadiana, because we're going to be showing you a clip of a movie that's coming out or is out, but we want to talk a little bit about each section before we do run that series, which is not now. LaQuita, what have you written as an author?
Okay, so as an author, I've written 6 novels. My first is a series. It's a 2-book series, currently working on a 3rd book, called Blissful Encounters of Intensity. And that's somewhere along the lines of 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
I've also written 2 horror novels as well, one called Black Market Butchers.
Wow. Where was that paperwork that I did not get to print out? Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it was an interesting story. It's also, I have a second one called Sins of a Whore's Son. So they are interesting characters.
Sounds like it already.
Uh-huh.
And that's just a glimpse into your books. You know, now that you bring that up, I do believe I had a printout, but for some reason I couldn't find it this go around. But that's even better because we have some footage to kind of add to the excitement.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so not only are you an author, okay, you're a model.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm going to say later, Acadiana, I do not know how many hours in the day she has, but I have 24, and it's pretty full, but it sounds like you could use a few more, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
What? Okay, so when it comes to modeling, are you locally involved in anything local? Are you out of town? Where are you basically doing your modeling? Or what kind of modeling do you do?
Okay, so modeling, when it comes to what I do, I work with a lot of print work.
Okay, print.
I have done some lingerie, but the people that I work with are based out of Texas.
Okay.
I have worked with some individuals in New Orleans, so I guess you could say I do a little bit of local as well. But yeah, it's been great.
Oh, believe me, you're all over the place, that's for sure. But I want to talk a little bit about, what is this, mental health counselor?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you do that?
Okay, well, that is a part of my my background.
That's what we want to hear, a little bit about this background.
I have I hold a dual master's degree in criminal justice and criminology, as well as counseling and psychology. So that time came right after I finished school. I spent a lot of time dealing with college students.
Right.
And then on top of that, I went to a different company where I got to work with a lot of children with things like autism, along that spectrum. I've also worked with a lot of adults dealing with suicidal ideation and different drug problems.
Wow.
So I just finished a stint in New Orleans where I worked with the parish drug courts out there, and I helped as a case manager deal with a lot of clients who had a lot of problems dealing with drugs. And when they came out of jail, they wanted to clean up their lives and get better. So I love that.
That's no accident, because you're talking to a mother whose son got caught up in that kind of stuff, went to prison. Originally, he was supposed to be in there for 60 years, but all the stuff was dropped, and he came out 5 years later, changed, cleaned up, want to live his life right, and you know what, LaQuita? No matter where he goes, he's made a record that follows him. And yet, I say, what can we do for kids like this, or young people, or anybody, no matter what age, that truly has changed their way of life and needs a second chance?
Yes, they do.
And there's other organizations that are out there, but we need even more,
I agree with that.
you know?
I feel that our state, needless to say, doesn't give enough attention to them. We don't have enough programs to support each one of them.
I know.
And that's why a lot of them, we lose them.
That's right.
Because we just don't have the necessary requirements that we need. But I do believe that there is something we can do for them. We just need to get the right people, involved, and it'll be much better.
There is an organization that I'm going to plug right now called Second Chance in Lafayette. And the man used to be a drug dealer himself, and he was part of a chain gang, and he's now a pastor.
Wow.
And he would love to probably have you on his show, too. But he definitely is one of those examples that someone gave him a chance, and now look what he's made of himself. Available to help find jobs for these people.
Absolutely.
That he can help them find someone who will give them the chance that he was given. So you see, something like that is so needed.
Yeah.
And I know I didn't realize what it meant, falling between the cracks,
Yes.
until you find yourself in a situation of a child who's gone down the wrong path. They've been given a second chance to clean up. Unfortunately, they have served some time. That becomes a felon. It's on their record. But there's still some employees out there that really need to give them a chance. So if you're listening to this show, please, we're always looking for resources to encourage, motivate, and encourage people.
Yeah.
Okay, with that said, you went to college for all that, and you got all your degrees, and you are a counselor and mental health, and you are active in your community, I assume. And you most likely are organizing a organization to do things to help other people. Are you involved in anything particular?
Well, when it comes to helping individuals, that's part of the reason why I started the company that I started, because I feel like each of us have a gift that we have that we can share with the world, but we don't get the opportunity to do it. So that's what my company was built on the premise of.
And what is the name of that company?
That is called Q Empires.
Okay.
And under that company, we have some umbrella companies. That is Explosive Stars Productions, which is where we do a lot of our movie productions. And then with that, we have a publishing company called Q's Publishing, because a lot of individuals want to be authors. They want to
That's
be
right.
writers, and they don't know where to start, how to start, or who to go to.
That's right.
And that's why I created that, to open that platform for other people to come to us and say, hey, I want this chance, can I have it? And we are welcoming people with open arms, because they deserve it.
That is why I attended that meeting, that I met you, because I am the president of the Writers Guild of Acadiana. And we're always looking for guests to come as speakers, to encourage authors, to guide them down some resources maybe they hadn't, or give them hope that they can have something available to them that won't necessarily always cost them money.
Right.
So that's great, and you may consider being one of our guest speakers.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll
Absolutely.
be bugging you again then. I'll be bugging you again. Okay, so we've got a little glimpse into that. You're really, really busy. Now, today, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you, how did you start being an actress? Who discovered you?
Interesting story.
How did you start? We got time to talk. So
Okay.
share it.
So I was actually coming back from a internship. I was doing one of my residencies in my PhD program
Okay.
for psychology, and I met a female. She was on the way to Colorado to do her very first project as a lead actress.
Wow.
And you know how you get to talking to random strangers in the airport. Well, she was afraid to fly, so we started conversating, and I told her what I did, and she told me what she do, and the conversation kind of continued from there. And with their project, they actually brought me on as a writer with their project. So their particular director was trying to write a horror script, and he didn't know where to start or, where to go with it. And because she knew I was an author, she knew that we see things in detail. We like to be very specific.
Right.
I want you to imagine and have yourself in that moment when you're reading. So she asked me to write a horror script, and I did that.
My goodness, and the stories unfold. LaQuita, how in the world did you hook up with May Chapman? I am so glad, because if it had not been for her, I would not have met you. And now I'm excited because of all the areas that you have expertise in. So, how did you meet May Chapman? I'm sorry. She doesn't get enough credit for
No,
a lot
she
of
doesn't.
stuff, so I'll plug her anytime I can.
No, she doesn't. Ms. May is just an amazing person. And I met her actually going through her, going to the meetup.
Okay.
And that was, I think, that was when our initial contact happened. And then I got to do an audition for her for a play
There you
for
go.
Mr. Tommy Cole Jr.,
Okay.
and it was called Broken Trust.
Okay.
And I got the lead role with that play. But ever since then, I mean, Ms. May has been amazing. She is such a great teacher, and she's also there to encourage you when you feel like things are going sideways. She always has an encouraging word, you know, and I love her drive to help people. That is amazing. A lot of people don't have that, and I thank her for what
And I
she's
admire
done.
her being so humble and yet
She
so
is.
open.
Yes.
And there's a lot of
yes.
things that people go on to bigger and better things that I pray, literally, that they will come back and give her some credit for being a part of it, you know?
Absolutely.
So with that said, though, what was the first movie you were booked in? Say it again.
That was a play,
A
and it
play?
was called Broken Trust.
Okay.
I did work with her on a different project called
Okay.
The Dirt Road to Lafayette.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, okay.
Yeah, that was another project we worked on together, and Ms. May, gosh, she's just an amazing person. And I truly feel that she was put in my path for a reason, and I'm so
She's a
grateful
busy
for her.
lady like you, too. In between
She
that, she serves our
is.
country,
She
okay?
is, yep, and that was one of the other things that her and I were able to share, because I was in the military,
Really?
Army as well, so
Wow.
we shared that as well. So, you know, God has a plan. He
That's
always
right.
has
Everything
a plan.
falls into
Yep.
place at the perfect timing.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so, you said, I think now would be a good time maybe to roll the footage.
Oh, yeah. Let's roll that.
And what is the name?
And this is called Kindred Dauntings. This is one of our projects.
Okay.
You really think I was going to let her ruin everything? You stupid boy.
You are a great cop, Oliver.
I'm doing fine. After I've been helping your mom for the last 2 days try to pick up the pieces of her life again. I'm sure she could have used your support.
You did your job.
No, I didn't do my job.
You're the reason for everything I've done.
And when he does, you'll be there.
Okay, now, about how long was that footage, LaQuita?
About a minute and, I think, 55 seconds. maybe?
Minute 55. And you know how things all fall together, everything happens for a reason. Also was glad to see on the rolling credits of your show that you also gave credit to someone very close to both of us, and that's my editor for all of my shows, Don Mitchell. Thank you so much. He did a great job.
Yes, he did.
Thank you so much for adding that in. Just that little thing is a big thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So now, for those that were viewing this, that maybe had not understood exactly who was what, would you like to talk about some of the people that were in that clip right there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had Dr. Zariah Jose.
Okay.
She's the medical examiner on the film. We had her talking with Detective Crescent. So they're the two leads in the project, and this is kind of like a paranormal psychological horror film.
Okay,
And it's surrounded by voodoo.
okay,
The background is more or less about this family who tends to keep getting torn apart by murder.
okay.
And we're all trying to figure out what's going on. So,
You're the director of this show, or did you write this show?
director, and I am co-writing. So I co-wrote that.
Okay, now is this the first one you do like this, or you have other projects that you've worked on?
I do have other projects. I have a TV show. I did the pilot episode 4 called Masquerade.
Well, look at this. Hello.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. And with that project, it was just how we tend to put on a facade for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, outside we're pretending to be extremely happy, and on the inside we're extremely sad and dealing with depression and so many different things. But it's all about how we're presented on the outside.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And as I'm looking at you, and on the road to being an actress. What?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I've got to work with a lot of people. I've gotten to work on a lot of projects. And I mean, just learning this business is, God, it's amazing.
It is.
All the training and the knowledge is never enough, you know.
LaQuita, as I was watching the clip, you know, of course, I didn't know anything about your story, and I see the different actors and actresses that were in there. Was this filmed locally or roundabout?
Yes, it was. We actually did the filming in New Orleans.
New
We
Orleans.
did some filming in West Monroe.
Okay.
And we also have some filming that'll be done in Baton Rouge. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you finished with this project? When is it going to be released?
We are pretty midway done.
Okay. In the
but
process.
We're in the process, yes.
What?
But we do have, we have created a short from the entire script.
Okay.
So, and with that, we want to get it into a number of festivals and sort of kind of show the world what we do have here.
And there's a lot of things that happen where you can showcase, and I'm sure you're aware of those resources. Film Festival.
Oh,
what-
absolutely, absolutely.
And Baton Rouge is, man, it's an awesome place for book author signings. We're talking festivals of all kinds. So I'm sure you attend all of those, do you not?
Oh, man, I would love to do more. Like you said earlier, there's not enough hours in the day, but, I definitely enjoy getting out when I can.
When I brought that up, LaQuita, I have to tell you, I laugh every time, because I had so many things going on. I was coming and meeting myself, and I'm like, where in the world? But I got, later on, look back and say, how in the world did I even get to do all that?
Right.
But I cried and I said, Lord, I said, man, I've only got 24 hours in a day. And all of a sudden, it's like in my spirit, would you like more? And I thought, no.
Oh, no.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have now covered you being, we have about 4 minutes left in the show. Is there anyone you would like to give special recognition to?
Well, I first of all want to say thank you to you guys for having me
Oh,
here.
thank you.
Man, it's been a
I
dream
wasn't
to
waiting for
sit
that.
down with you, and so I'm glad we finally were able to do that. But I do want to give a special thanks to Don Mitchell. I mean, his work is unbelievable. I mean, I have a website. I've launched the app, you know, all these different things that he's done for me, and God, he is just amazing.
And
an
he's
amazing
also a member of Acadiana Open Channels here. And so naturally, anything going on with AOC,
person. Yeah.
I'm glad that you've teamed up with him, because he's a good friend of mine, and he really works hard at that also.
He
And
does.
produces a lot of different things, not only
does.
for trailers and things like he did for you, but also for authors as far as book covers.
Book covers, yeah, because he's done 2 of mine, and oh my God, they are amazing.
Yes, they are. And thank you so much for bringing that up, because I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Do you have any kind of vision of maybe in the future of any television shows that you would like to do as a talk host?
Well, yeah, there is. I'd love to do a show called Unspeakable Minds, and that is dedicated to those individuals who feel like we keep who we are inside for fear of other people speaking about it. You know, a lot of times we give ourselves, you know, to everybody because
That's
we
true.
want to please everyone, but we don't necessarily do what's right for us. So I feel like that show is going to showcase what that is. You know, sometimes we just have to let our voices be heard. So
That's it, that's it. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes you.
absolutely.
We already know you've got a long path, but you've gone down that path.
And I also want to thank the actors, everybody
Oh,
that
yeah.
have worked with me up until this point, even, you know, individuals that have been with me from the beginning, like Lisa Nasworthy and Doug Gagnon. And, you know, they're all individuals that started with me in this process. We didn't know where it was going to go, but we had a vision and we started it.
So when did you start the vision? That's a good question.
Man, that was back in 2013.
Wow, 4 years into the making.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't just go down one path, you've been down several paths.
Yes, we did. We opened it up, and I said, you know what, guys? We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up.
And it sounds like it just keeps on growing and growing. Well, I know that we're getting kind of close to the end of the show, and I just want to thank you so much for finally
Yes.
being able to make it. And I pray that you have a safe trip home and you enjoy that meal that you plan on going to
Oh, yes, ma'am.
after you leave here. And I encourage anyone out there that is interested in finding out what's going on, check out her website for more information. And it will be up there, www.queen, Queem Pires, Pires.com for more information. And she has come, she's literally, you live in
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, okay, and I have her down here from West Monroe,
Yes, ma'am.
but you live in Baton Rouge. And again, author, actress, model, mental health counselor, and future television host. And you took out of your very, very busy schedule. Katie Ann, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope that you have gotten a lot of information out of it. For more information, please feel free to shoot us an email. If you'd like to hear more about what's going on with LaQuita Smith-Kayworth, then of course check out her webpage, and she'll be glad to get back with you. Otherwise, be sure to watch out that her upcoming movie, what's the name of it?
Kindred Dauntings.
Kindred
Kindred
Daunting.
Dauntings.
We will make sure to say that again, that we got it right.
Kindred Dauntings.
Okay, and that is a project that will soon be finished and on the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, she's going to be out there doing her thing and coming to Lafayette. How often do you come to Lafayette?
I try to get here at least 5 times a month.
5 times a month. So you have other things going on here in Lafayette, visiting people.
I do, and my family lives here. My dad
Oh,
lives here.
Okay,
so.
well, that's great. So you don't mind doing the traveling, and Baton Rouge really isn't that far away anyway.
It's not, about an hour.
You know, but some people, okay, weather, it's hardly anything will stop me, but I guess when the bridges are iced, like it was the last time we were supposed to have you in here,
I know.
you know, and that was a cancellation that we really hated to do, but hey, that was it. You can't make it, you can't make it, but I'm glad that we did have this time together to talk about everything. I don't think we left anything out, did we?
We did not.
Otherwise, we are going to be nearing the end of the show, and we are very glad that you are working on other projects, right?
Yes, I am.
Can you give us the name of one?
It's called Night Visions.
Okay, a little detail about that as the rolling credits are going.
Well,
Throw that fish hook out there, girl.
It's another little horror project. We're going to do a shorts, get some people involved and some people interested. People like Tasha Smith-Mills.
Oh, yeah, okay, know her.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
It already is interesting, and as you see the rolling credits, if you have a story that you would like to hear, or you know someone that you would like to see on the show, please shoot us an email at praisemusicpro@cox.net, and you'll get me. Otherwise, if you want to hear more about LaQuita Smith-Kayworth and what she's doing, where she's going to be, then you're welcome to email her also at that webpage that was on the screen. Until then, have Have a blessed day.